Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Star Spinner Tarot by Trungles. The website is chroniclebooks.com here on the back. So if you're interested in that, you can just freeze frame right there, and you can do what you want with that. Supportive Oracle cards, spellcasting Oracle cards, and here's the people who created it. Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. There's their last names, but there is a website. She Who Is Art on the back here. It'll focus. Please focus. SheWhoIsArt.com. So if you freeze frame that, I know it says it's like $20. I got it on Amazon for like 15 just like this last week. And this is March of 2021, which this is valid. This reading's valid from whenever you come to it. But if you're watching it at this time, it might still be on sale. So just in case you would like it. We're going to be pulling from the bottom of the deck again. Sometimes we do that. What do we got for Scorpio? So we got a bunch of cards coming out. Got a bunch of cards. This one card is pushing out from the center. So, all right, what do we got for you? So, the card coming in, literally, the first one I'm seeing is career. So, I just want to be fair. I mean, the obvious connection would be like, this would have something to do with your career. I'm also but I'm feeling a lot like maybe this has to do with somebody else's career. Like maybe it's like a partner or a family member or friend, and it's something about their career that you're trying to like help them figure out, because I'm noticing career comes in with the Page of Pentacles on your side, which, I mean, you're Scorpio, you're not really a follower energy. The only time I could see this really fitting easily is where if there's somebody else you care about and they're having struggles or difficulty, and you're like, well, you work at such and such corporation, I work over there somewhere completely different. It's not like I can just show up at your job and fix your life for you. Not that I want to do that anyway, but it's like that's not like how you would do that. So that would be why you would have the page information or energy around you, kind of like you're getting information, you're trying to help. It's something to do with, I think, somebody else's career for a lot of you. And they're telling you everything that's going on, and I feel like you're trying to like help them sort out what's going on and try to figure out a better way to handle things. Kind of like, yeah, I see, I don't like where you're going either. You don't like where you're going, I don't like where you're going. Let's brainstorm. Let me talk with you. We can try to figure out some angles here. Maybe we can find something better or change what's going on around you so that it's not going the way it's going anymore. Now, you have the Six of Pentacles. My face is itchy all of a sudden. Is that what I think that is? Okay. You really are trying to help this person. It's like they're asking you for help. I think that's why you got the Six of Pentacles. They're asking you for help. You're trying to help. But it's like you're like, it's like somebody else telling you what's going on at their work, and you don't work there, and you're like, you're absorbing what you can. You're giving a lot of ideas, and you're saying, like, what they're telling you, you're working with it the best way you can, but that's the trick to this. They're trying to tell you everything they can, but it's a lot different from actually being a part of it and knowing what's going on. So you can't see things that are right in front of them because you have no connection to it. You know, if they're oblivious to something right in front of their face that could help them, and they don't see it, there's no way you're going to know about it. Okay, so there is positive energy coming forward at some point. There is. I want to come over to this part for you. You got a lot of cards coming out here. You got the Hierophant, Death, and the Ace of Wands. you're giving them some good advice. But I'm noticing the Hierophant seems to be really eclipsing the Death card. In the sense of, like, the Death card is, yes, it's the Scorpio card, but there's more to it than that. I feel like what you're saying to them is, like, well, from what you've told me, here's the blunt truth about what I see and where I see things going. So if I was in your position and that's what I was looking at, here's where I would go. You got to make your own decision, but, like, if this was a dead-end job, I'd be like, well, I'm the type of person that wants to excel and keep moving forward and have opportunities for advancement. If this job doesn't offer that and I don't really like it, it's time for me to find something else. And doesn't mean you have to, like, jump at the first opportunity that throws you an offer or, acceptance, but it means you need to start looking and keep looking until you find better. Because I feel that energy with you. That's kind of like the advice, like, listen, what you're telling me is it's not getting better and the door is shut and it's not acceptable. If this place where you are is just not going to change things, you got to start looking some other place. Doesn't mean you go for the first opportunity that will have you. Like, you don't just run out and start dating people and the first person that says I'd love to marry you, you just go, okay. You don't just go for the first one because they will. You got to, like, well, do I want that? Do I like them? Do I think this works? Like, work it out. I feel like that's some more information you have to, like, impress upon them. Like, just don't take the first offer because you want out of here. Look at what you're being offered. Be sure you want it. Just don't take the first thing that comes your way. It's kind of like, again, like, it's like walking down the street and somebody says, hey, I'd marry you. Okay. Like, well, at least somebody will. I'll take it. I'll take my chances. Like, no, who would do that? That's crazy. You're kind of like saying, that's crazy with a job, too. Don't do that with your job. Don't just find the first place that says yes and go with it. Think about it. Work it out. Ask the question. See if you really want it. If it's really not your liking, don't take it. Keep looking, and don't leave where you are until you find what you want, not just something else. You don't want to go from bad to another bad, or, God forbid, bad to worse. And I feel like you have to give that advice pretty bluntly a couple times. I feel like it might get obnoxious, but keep saying it. If that hits, you're going to know if that hits or not. Because I feel that the Hierophant with the Death card is kind of like I have to keep reminding people, don't just take something because it's offered to you. Make sure you actually want it. Make sure you want it. Peace and trust. I feel like this is what you're trying to instill with this person. Whatever you want to change, you don't like where you're at, don't just find something else that's going to lead you into the same... Like, you don't want to, like, paint yourself into a corner, get out of that corner, then paint yourself into another corner. Don't do that. I feel like you have to keep reiterating this. Kind of like you want to find peace. You want to trust that you're finding something better, something you can work with. They do move fairly quickly. Do we like this? I'm going to cheat a little here. I think it's good. You're seeing... When they move forward really quickly, now, I know Scorpio can be spontaneous, but just because you can enjoy a little bit of spontaneity, maybe a lot of bit of spontaneity, it's kind of like driving down the road at 60 miles an hour and just jumping out of the car just randomly. It's kind of like that type of spontaneity is not your thing. Like, spontaneity in a cool way, in a good way, in a productive way, in a helpful way, yes. In a destructive, taking your own life, risking your own life, no, not okay. And you're thinking they're making reckless decisions. You're kind of like, there's reckless decisions you just kind of have to make, but there's others that you just, well, no. It's reckless. You're just looking at this like this is reckless. I understand spontaneity and just doing and just going by the, flying by the seat of your pants. I understand that. But in this situation, you're like, no, this is a reckless move. It feels reckless to me. You got that Ten of Swords with the Hanged Man, kind of like you're not happy about what they're doing, and you're like, they're just walking away from one job into another job that they're going to feel the same way about. That's not what I was telling them to do. I was telling them to make sure that they wanted where they were going. They just want to get out of the situation that they're in. There's more going on there. I almost cringe that I'm going to say this. And please remember, this is a general reading. I don't know the people involved. So if this seems a little pointed, I apologize. But the way it's really coming in, the person that's leaving and that is leaving pretty quickly, yeah, they've made some mistakes, and they might have burned their own bridges in a few different ways. So one of the reasons they're moving on so quickly is kind of like, yeah, I want to just I want to clear off the board here and start fresh because I screwed this up. I burned too many bridges. I caused too many problems. I made some decisions that weren't good. So I just want to go. And that's the family. Like I'm feeling like this. They're going off into the sunset. Like they're really happy. This is somebody who just wants to leave. It's almost like a romantic, or what do you call that? The fairy tale ending. Kind of like, okay, yeah, that was messed up, but now I'm moving on from that. So it doesn't matter anymore. That's wiped away. That's no longer a factor. Well, it is kind of a factor if that pattern is repeated. And usually people repeat patterns. I'm just saying. They want closure. But I feel like maybe that's why they're moving on. Not so much. It's almost like they're saying, well, I want to go somewhere where there's opportunity for advancement. And I'm not seeing that here. Maybe they're not seeing opportunity for advancement because they burned the bridges and the people who would advance them don't like them anymore, and they know that. And they need closure from that situation. So there's like a few different layers here. I'm getting an onion feel. You know what I mean? We got a few different layers going on here. They are getting something better, though. It is coming in. They are still going to have to trudge through the situation. There's a lot of work they're going to have to go into this next situation that's going to put a lot of pressure on them. You're going to see that immediately. And I feel like you're going to be aggravated. Kind of like, yeah, I told you. Make sure you go into something you want. Just don't take anything coming your way. But again, there's pieces here they weren't telling you. Kind of like, yeah, I burned a lot of bridges. I needed to go. I needed to go before they made me go. And maybe that's another thing, too. They're like kind of afraid they were going to lose that job. So before they lost it, they're just kind of moved on. And they're just kind of like, oh, no, not an issue now. I just moved on from there. You're going to have more conversations with them. The Wheel of Fortune here, Wheel of Fate in this deck, and the King of Swords. Is it swords or wands? Wands. I still feel communication, but maybe it's because there's a bird there. Wands talk about action. I feel like it's more about communication, like very active communication. Even with the Queen of Wands over here, and those are action cards. They're not usually about communication, but well, if I think of like Leo especially, Leo will communicate very, very easily. Like it's not an issue for them just to say what they're thinking. And I feel like that's the type of communication I feel coming out. And I think that's why I'm seeing fire with this. Like you're getting very blunt with them. Like, hey, you did this, you did that. What are you thinking? Why did you do that? I told you not to. Like, bam, it's just flying out. Like we were trying to fix your situation, not help you find a different situation that was just going to be rough too. We wanted to improve, not find similar. We wanted to go up, not just. We didn't want a lateral movement here. We wanted a progressive movement here. And I think that's why I'm getting like communication with these fire cards, the King and Queen of Wands. It's going to come out very bluntly, very randomly, in the sense of like they tell you that they got another job and poof, you're just going to have things to say about it, and you're going to like, it's like your mouth is going to go and your brain's going to be like, wow, I got a lot to say. Look at it go. Like there it goes. I'm just saying it and here we go. They do need to move on very quickly is what I'm getting. They might not have explained that very well. I feel like they left a few major things out where maybe they needed to move on. Because I'm getting success here. Like, yeah, no, them moving on to another job fairly quickly, that might have been more out of necessity than just reckless. Because I feel like it's going to look reckless. Like, you didn't move into something better. You went into the same thing. Why did you do that? Because they knew the devil was coming for them, and they needed to get away from that devil. And there's things going on here. When they dislodge from this, they're a lot happier. I feel like they really did need to, but the way the information's coming across to you, I feel like there's a lot of holes here. I feel like they're trying to let you know that there's a lot of holes in this situation. So when they're transitioning and they're very happy about it, and you're like, no, that wasn't the right way to do that, they had to. I feel like they really did have to, but they left a lot of pieces out of the situation because they don't want to make it look bad for them. For the love of Pete. What else do we have here? Alright, so I feel like we're there. all that, I feel like they're trying to give you a heads up that, there's a lot here you might not know because this other person isn't wanting you to know. Don't let it drive you crazy. I guess that's the best I can say for that, because there's a lot of open-ended, there's a lot of holes in this situation. And they're saying, actually, this person who moved on quickly, yeah, they needed to. They actually did. But you're missing a lot of the information on the why. They didn't share with you why they would need to, is what I'm getting. So I feel like they're just trying to fill in that piece of the puzzle for you. So hopefully that makes sense. There must be a reason for that. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Of course, the donation information is below if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.